Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's time for Coffee Ann on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning. It's May 28th. I'm Joe Callahan. Nice of you to be with us this morning. Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group is here. Good morning to you, Ed.
Greetings.
Greetings to you. And Linda Tebow could not be with us, so Dave Richards is going to do his best Linda Tebow impersonation.
Hi there.
Best of luck, Dave. Nice to have Dave with us as well. But Ed, time for your first message from the Carew Investment Group from their brand new facilities.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed. So you've only been in the new place for about a week now.
Yep.
You're getting calls of people saying, "Where have you gone?"
No.
No? Oh, good.
No, we sent out emails.
Well, I saw the
like
email.
Yeah.
So, but some people, they don't pay
We got some
attention.
that say congratulations and
Good.
things like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Anyone going to the old place yet?
I don't know.
I don't know if they told you. Oh yeah,
He's not there. He can't tell, Joe.
But I don't know if they
We have
said
a
to
sign in
him.
the door that says, "We ain't here no more," or words to that effect.
That was nice.
Well, I don't know if they came to you and said, "Yeah, I forgot and went to the old place," and hey, you weren't there. So
Hasn't happened
that's
yet.
right.
But it might.
Time to go to the
You
new
never
place.
know.
And he put it on the radio, too. So, I mean,
So
when we
smart.
moved from Social Street to Park Avenue, nobody went to to Social Street looking for us.
All right.
They just knew.
Have you met your neighbors?
No, I have
You're
not,
the-
but Paul has.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody getting
Maybe
along,
today.
so?
Yeah, there's a CPA
Maybe.
firm upstairs. That's
Uh-huh.
we're upstairs, they're upstairs, and downstairs is an optometrist
Mhm.
or ophthalmologist or whatever. Yeah, and that's all that's in that building.
Yeah.
There's 4 buildings back
Right.
there.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad things are going as smooth as possible.
Yeah, it's all professional offices in that.
Yep. All right. Cool.
complex.
Now, we know the address, but on Mendon Road, many people respond very well to what's it near. You know this.
Yes.
So what's it near that is it near this plaza, that plaza, or what?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll break it down for you. You know where Cumberland House of Pizza is?
Sure,
The
Chops.
Mendon Plaza.
Yeah.
Right, Chops. It's between that and the plaza where Seabra is.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Same
to
side?
break it down, same side. To break
Okay.
it down further,
Yeah.
do you remember? You must remember.
He's gonna remember
the
this.
Jerry Lewis Theater.
Oh, very well.
Okay, well, in Jerry Lewis Theater, I believe is a liquor store.
Yeah,
Mendon Liquors,
it is
I think
now,
is the
yeah.
name of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's in that complex.
Yeah.
You take that same driveway. The sign on the street says, it's got all the names of all the businesses, and it says
Sure.
2170 Mendon Road.
Right.
Well, you go in there, and there's 2170, 2180, we're 2190,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Valley Breeze used to be there for a few years, if I recall.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
They may
I
have
think
been.
Tom Ward had the Valley Breeze offices there, right up next to the road on the right-hand side building.
Ed's closest to the road now.
Aha.
Yeah, so
Okay.
of all those 4 buildings,
Uh-huh.
you're closest to the road.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Well,
Yeah,
very
he may
happy
have been
for you.
downstairs. Thank you.
Good luck there, and I'm sure that Paul spends more time in the Woonsocket office, so he'll probably spend more time in the Cumberland office. No.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
all right. Ed, now that it's past Memorial Day, just do things slow down because it's after Memorial Day in the stock market?
No.
Going towards into the summertime.
By the way, can I interrupt for a moment? Notice how Joe is wearing white today.
It's after Memorial Day.
Oh.
That's
He's
right.
wearing
It's
it.
okay.
Show
So now
everybody,
it's
Joe.
okay.
Show everybody the white shirt in
All
case
right.
they didn't notice. Joe's wearing white
I'm being
today.
fashionable.
I see.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't even have white because
Oh,
of
well, you should.
television.
Oh, well, all right.
Years ago, I mean, you could never wear white on TV; it'd
No,
mess
it had
up
to
on the
be
cameras.
blue
You had
for a
it
while.
was a light blue that
Yeah.
I have 3 light blue shirts, but I don't have any white ones. Yeah. Okay, back to what you were asking.
I don't know if because of vacation times and things like that, if things slow down.
It generally
trade-wise.
slows down for vacation time in August.
Okay.
That would be the time between August and September.
Okay.
Has everybody noticed this? It used to be like July 4th was top vacation time because of all the mills. Mills moved out. July was still the #1 vacation month. But nowadays, in this century, it seems like August is the month where you go to see people and they ain't there.
Yeah.
That and 2 weeks during May, where people are traveling for one reason or another. But vacations come in August now, it seems.
Well, in our business, it doesn't slow down as much as it used to, because before the big managers, the big portfolio managers, and those guys, they would take a month off and go to the Hamptons or Long Island, or whatever. But now with the internet, they
Yeah.
they can trade from
Wherever.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And they pretty much keep an eye on what's going on. So it does slow down, but it doesn't like come to a screeching halt like it did at one time.
So you're seeing the same thing, that the vacations just ain't vacations much anymore? Because professionals will still spend an hour or so keeping track of what's going on while they're away on vacation?
Yeah, even when I'm in Aruba, I spend
So
an
it's
hour
not the
every
same-
morning on my
Taking a look.
laptop checking things
Not
out.
the same as it used to be, where you couldn't do nothing, so you...
Right, exactly. When I first started going to Aruba, you were lucky to be able to make a phone call across the street.
Oh,
to,
yeah.
Yeah,
I remember trying to do live
You know,
television shows from them over the internet. They swore up and down on a stack of Bibles. They had a meg-and-a-half connection to the mainland, but it was for the entire island, and it
Yeah.
didn't work.
CTAR was nowhere near like our telephone companies.
Right.
That's their company up there,
Yeah,
CTAR. Yeah, it was like don't even think about it. You're not gonna, nothing's gonna work.
But I've also noticed, Dave, in terms of vacations, in terms of your situation, if you've got kids in school, mostly middle school and high school, you have to be back home from vacation in August because they have to start preparing for school, and especially if they play sports, you got to start ramping
Yeah.
up for your fall sports. So they still vacation in July. So it just all depends on your situation.
Don't get me started again on starting school before Labor Day. It's
Oh,
one of my rants.
I know.
think it's
I know. It's
I just think it's an awful thing that they've done.
that's a teacher thing. They get,
Could be.
It's in their contract.
I don't care who's responsible. It's
Well,
wrong.
that's what they want it. So some of them do. Anyway, okay, moving on now. One of the better stories we have today is that our own resident from Woonsocket,
Oh,
Caitlin
yeah.
Santana, has been named Miss Rhode Island USA for 2024.
We've interviewed this young lady on the air before.
And there's her picture, Ed. We put it up on the
Look
internet.
at that.
Who's ever?
Oh yeah.
She's the one with the sash.
Uh-huh.
The one
in the
closest to
blue,
you on the
yes.
right-hand
Yeah.
side.
In the blue dress and the tears coming down her face. So we figured that must be her.
That's right. And the one that's holding her hand up in the air, obviously, is the outgoing.
Last year's.
Right.
Yeah.
Very pleased. Big grin.
So Miss Santana, she's 22, and she won the crown Sunday night at the Vets Memorial Auditorium in Providence, where they had the big event. And now she will go on to represent Rhode Island in the Miss USA 2024 pageant in August in California. So best of luck to her. Right now she's a student at CCRI, and she works for a disability support company.
Right.
Well, good
That
for- good for her.
that photo that we're broadcasting, by the way, we should give photo credit.
Yep.
Is a private photo taken by Woonsocket City Councilwoman Valerie Gonzalez, who was there, and one of her supporters, one of Ms. Santana's supporters.
Fantastic. So congratulations to Caitlin, and we hope she does very well in California this coming August. All right. So other things going on. I know Dave loves this, but the Celtics won last night, Ed.
Oh, did
All
they?
right.
Yes, they
That's
did.
good.
And they sweep out the Indiana Pacers, 4-0.
Yeah, that's a tough
great.
way to go.
It is. All the games were close, but Indiana, I think, had someone hurt, which really hurt their chances. But the Celtics, we have hurt people too, but Celtics seem to have more talent this year, which is fantastic. So they move on to the NBA Finals, and they get to rest up, and because the opponent will be either the Dallas Mavericks or the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're still playing each other to decide who goes to the finals. Although the schedule has already been set, no matter what. First game is June 6th. So mark it on your calendar. June 6th, 8 o'clock.
I'm sorry, I'm booked
you
that
busy?
night. Yeah, I'm busy that night, yeah.
Well, at least the games are starting earlier. Used to be the NBA Finals would start at 9 o'clock at night. People finally said, what are you doing? Now, basketball games, when you look at the four major sports, are usually the fastest played. And they're usually done in 2 hours or so. But when you get to the finals, and there's more TV time, and they've sold more advertising, it spreads out to about 2.5 hours. Well, and longer halftime and things like that. Hey, the games are getting over at 11:30. It's getting late, So they finally moved it back. So I actually made
A lot of pushback from affiliates when they can't broadcast their local news.
Well, right. And so if they move it back to 8, we're done by 10:30. We can have a half an hour of post-game analysis, if you like that stuff, and then you can have the news at 11. Should work out nicely for the affiliates. So.
Well,
Although most of the games are in ESPN. They don't
pay
go-
cable,
they
so
don't,
they don't care
yeah,
about
they don't
the
care.
time,
So
yeah.
they don't care. They don't care about when the local news is.
Yeah.
But okay. But great news for the Celtics. They're a very powerful team this year, and it looks like they might just win it all, and that's going to be fantastic.
Well, while you're talking about sports, we don't have too much time to pick up another topic. What if we bandy this about? Ed, I don't know how much of a hockey fan you are. If you ever watch ice hockey.
Actually, I do not.
All right.
I can't find the puck.
Are you thinking on the TV?
Yeah.
It's the little
Yeah.
black thing. Anyway.
Well, there was
Some
always
people- a
a
lot of
problem
people
that
do,
way.
yeah.
With today's high definition TV, you see more of the puck, but it's basically just a blur as
Yeah.
it moves around from place
Right.
to place. Right, you're about that. I finally came now. Joe, Ed, has been listening to me complain and whine about the play of the Boston Bruins all season long and last season. I just was not satisfied with their efforts. And I keep one of my main complaints that I keep harping on is they don't pass the they don't shoot the puck enough. They pass the puck too much. That's European play in my view, the way I was taught, and so that's the European style of playing. But I like the American and Canadian style of playing. Shoot the bloody puck because you miss 100% of the pucks you don't shoot at the net.
This is true.
All right, so that was my theory. I came up with the solution.
Oh, good.
We'll submit it to Cam Neely and the rest of the NHL during the offseason as soon as they're done with the Stanley Cup. And I'll say, this is what you need for a rule. They've got it in other sports, and it works well. A shot clock. Someone must shoot the puck in this many seconds at all times. If you don't shoot the puck in the general direction of the goal, it's a penalty. Because originally, Joe knows this, I was saying about the coach, the head coach of the Bruins, Mr. Montgomery, I was saying, take him into the locker room and tell him, okay, next player that passes the puck, $50 fine. And Joe says, that's not realistic. You can't play the game that way. And I realize you can't, but I'm trying to make an example that you're passing the puck too much. But what if the league put in a shot clock? Now, they've got a pitch clock. They've got a shot clock.
In
They got-
basketball, yeah.
Right. They got all these different things. And you just mentioned basketball games generally tend to finish faster than other major league sports. They've got a shot clock. Let's put a shot clock in hockey. What do you say?
Football's got a clock too.
Yeah,
You got to hike the ball
Yeah.
within a certain amount of time
exactly.
or kick it. Yeah.
Right. What do you think? Shot clock in hockey.
Ed,
Ed,
you
does
wanna
it make
go
any
first?
sense to you, Ed? Have I convinced you?
You haven't convinced me to watch the game.
Oh,
And I'm not sure that the game would go any faster with a shot clock.
there's only 3 people here. We're going to need a swing vote. How would you go on that?
I don't know. I never considered it.
Yeah, okay. All righty.
right.
And Joe, your first impression?
No. Enough
Of
shots,
course not.
Enough shots are taken
No.
during the game, and
Not
to
nearly.
give the other team a penalty. No, you gotta. If you were to do that, you'd have to do it like basketball. You'd have to blow the whistle or the horn, stop play, turn the puck over to the other team, like behind their net, and have them bring it out. But I don't think it's not going to work, Dave.
I think that would
nope.
slow down the game.
That would slow down the hockey game considerably. Keep all the whistles being
Yeah.
blown. No.
Well,
don't
I
like it.
know, but when you can
don't
win
like
a
it, Dave.
game 1-0, you can't do that in football. You can't do it in basketball.
I
We
know.
could do it in baseball,
Yeah.
but baseball is, another thing. So I'm just saying,
You're right, and that's why they implemented a shot clock in basketball, because some of the games used to be 9-8.
yeah,
in
there you go.
2 hours. It was in the final. They won 9-8. Woohoo! Not very exciting.
Yeah.
But nice idea. I don't think it's going to fly. Try.
Doesn't matter.
Run it up to Gary Bettman in the NHL. And see
When
what
you
he
take
says.
a look at the history of mankind and all of the incredibly stupid, moronic laws that have been passed by governments,
And here's
sports
an-
leagues,
here's
and
another one.
everything else, when you look at that, you say to yourself, how is this any more moronic than the others?
Note in from the audience, Dave 766-1240. Shot clock, a big fat no.
Well, that's
So there you go.
yeah, obviously they've never played the game.
Yes,
That's
they-
Joe's answer for me every time I come up with
That's
something.
right, you
Gee,
never
Dave, you
played.
never played the game
yes, you
professionally.
don't
How
know.
would you know?
And this is what you do, Ed, to get you more interested in the hockey game. It'll take a little doing, but don't try to follow the puck. Okay? Watch the players, and then when the play gets down around the net, look at the net.
Well,
You'll see the puck go
you
in.
see the puck go in.
And once
the
you
net,
see when you see the
but
puck
it don't
goes in,
go out all that often.
Yeah.
but if you see the puck go in, play stops, and you'll see the replays. And that's when you'll be able to see where the puck, who passed to who, and who took the shot. You'll find the game far more enjoyable.
I don't think so.
All right,
It's a big fat no to you.
all right, Ed. This is not a big fat no. Back to you for another message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Menden Road in Cumberland. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, call us at 765-8880. Integrity, trust, service. The Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thanks. And more of the Coffee and program coming your way. And we have another note to get to. We will when we come back. You can call in yours at 766-1240.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We're local and live at 99.5 FM.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON, AM, and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Ed Carew and Dave Richards. Linda Tebow could not be with us. Just one more sports note. Bill Walton passed away. You must know who Bill Walton is.
I know who Bill Walton
Okay.
is.
Bill Walton passes away yesterday at the age of 71. Tremendous basketball player. Won two NCAA championships and 2 NBA championships. There's a trivia question right there. With Bill Walton as being the answer. So
He also played for the Celtics for 2 years.
yes, and won a championship with the Celtics, 1986. See, you do know.
I do
you do
know
like you do like basketball. There you go.
No,
At least you're paying attention to who's on the team.
I pay attention to a lot of things that I don't like.
All right. All right. Speaking of things you don't like, Ed, closing argument. Oh, this is a note that was called in 766-1240. Closing arguments begin today in the hush money trial with Donald Trump. The verdict should come by the end of the week, possibly. If it's a sooner verdict, the caller says not guilty. If the verdict comes in later in the
If
week,
it's a what verdict?
no. If the verdict comes soon,
Oh, okay.
in the week, then they're predicting
Short deliberation.
not guilty. If we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and then it
Then
comes
it's gonna be
later,
guilty when
then
you
he
think?
then he is going to be guilty. Ed, do you know why? I don't know how much you're following this. I asked Dave, and he's like, I'm not sure why they're doing this, but in closing arguments, the defense is going first. Do you know why that was decided? Usually, the defense goes last in closing arguments.
I have no idea.
No, okay, we don't know why that's been decided this time around because it's a head scratcher of why they're going first.
If you care, it's a head
Yeah,
scratcher.
or we can always join that. It's all part of the big conspiracy theory against them.
Ah, yes.
I love a good conspiracy
Yeah,
theory.
yeah,
Ed.
I know. You'll have a good one or a bad one.
I like them. So yeah. So now, what do you think? If the verdict comes back soon, is he not guilty? If it comes in late, he's guilty. Do you agree with that assessment?
No,
No. Okay.
I said it's going to be a hung jury.
You said that last week.
I did. I'm repeating it for
Okay.
emphasis.
Hung jury, and then they're not going to retry him. Was that part of it? Oh, they will retry him.
I don't know if they'll retry him or not.
Okay.
Well, with a hung jury, can't they go with a mistrial?
Well, basically, yeah.
Which would mean that you have to try again.
All right. But okay. If
I
there's
mean,
a
one side
difference-
just makes motions, and the
Yeah.
other side makes other motions, and.
So then it can be.
But the goal is to keep this going till October, isn't it?
Well, I guess that would be what the Democrats would like.
Well,
But if they decide mistrial,
if not, they'll charge him with something else and make it last till October. I don't know.
if it comes down to a mistrial, is that mean you do have to have another trial? But if you come down with a hung jury, then they can say that's it. The whole thing's gone. And I guess that's up to the judge.
Well, I didn't understand. Usually in our system of justice, you are accused, and then you answer the charges, the accusation, right? You have to be accused first, and then you'll answer the accusation. So the defense goes last in their argument of they didn't do it. And so you're saying now...
Well, he was accused.
Right. And now you're saying that when closing arguments come along, the I didn't do it go before the accuser makes their final point. It seems a little out of
Out of
sync
whack.
to me. Where it's but I mean, is there anyone on the planet that does not believe that most of this, that let me rephrase this, the timing of the trial is politically motivated?
Well, now you sound like a Trump supporter.
No. It just, I look at it, I said, there's so much evidence in favor of this. Of this argument that is politically motivated. There's so much evidence of it because they could have charged. It's been 2 years. They could have charged. Been 4 years. They could have charged him before. They didn't charge him before. They could have charged him 2 years ago. They didn't charge him 2 years ago. They wait till re-election season comes and then they put him in court.
And since
Now-
he'll be the presumptive nominee, yes, they did wait.
I'm saying, is there any sentient being out there that has an argument otherwise? I'd love to hear it. Persuade me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's so much evidence, a preponderance of circumstantial evidence to the fact that they're trying to keep him off the campaign trail, that it seems to me that it's easy to believe that.
You
Now, I
agree?
don't really care one way or the other because I don't want to vote for either of them. But I'm just saying that the argument that is politically motivated seems to be getting some circumstantial credibility, and I haven't heard anybody on the other side with any credible evidence that it isn't.
You following his train of thought there, Ed?
Yeah, I follow him.
You like? You
Yeah,
agree with it?
I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
makes
that
sense.
they could have done this at any time other than now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just Joe Schmo, why would it drag on unless he was dragging it on, and he wasn't dragging it on.
Right. So
He was waiting to get charged. Then he got charged, so that the timing would work out so that he was at trial now.
correct. Okay.
Because what he's supposed to have done happened before he
Years
was
ago.
president.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness,
why I
they
don't
got to
get it.
charge them before he was president.
Yeah. All right. Now, speaking of Trump, he went to the rally, not a rally or convention of the Libertarian Party.
Mm-hmm.
Got booed. Not by all of them.
Trump went.
Yes. Trying to rally
Takes a
those
little
people
take a little guts to get those kinds of
Yeah.
people with that mentality to go for you.
to vote for him. So
Yeah.
we got to get, as Trump says, we got to get Crooked Joe out. But they didn't go with Trump as the nominee, and they didn't go with Kennedy. They nominated somebody else
Right.
to be their Libertarian candidate, and I can't remember that person's name.
So they neutralized
know.
themselves.
Yep, I mean it was a nice try by Trump to go and try to get them to come to his side. Didn't work.
Hey, try everything, keep what
Yeah,
work, right?
And well, it was a good
Didn't work.
good attempt. All right, moving on. Something else. I want Ed's opinion
Didn't
on
they-
this one. What's that?
Didn't they pick Jill Stein?
No, it was a man. His name.
Was a man.
I'll
Oh,
try-
yeah,
from
yeah,
our
yeah.
national news. I'm trying to remember. I do remember
Right.
it being a man's name.
I did read it last night while I was.
It could have been Stein as the
It was.
VP.
Well, I don't recall that, but yeah, you're right. It was a man.
Okay. Back here in Rhode Island, Ed, you have your guns. You go down to the shooting range and like that.
Yeah.
The Rhode Island House, they're voting today on it's a gun safety measure, and it's on storage. It's a gun safety storage bill. The Judiciary Committee voted in favor of the bill last Thursday. It's been passed by the Senate, goes to the House today. The bill now requires that firearms be in a locked container or equipped with a tamper-resistant mechanical lock.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something you agree with?
Yeah, we have that in Massachusetts.
The same kind of law?
Yeah.
But don't you find it kind of unenforceable? How would the police check on that?
Well, I don't think they're gonna come in and do random checks.
Well, right.
But if you get stopped, or if for some reason you do something and they go to your home,
Yeah.
I think they've got the right to search. You know,
Yep.
and they're gonna see you got it in your desk drawer or something. It's not supposed to be there.
No. Well, the desk is locked. Probably not with a mechanical, resistant mechanical lock. But, oh, by the
I
way,
mean, they make gun safes, you know.
yeah, and they do.
Yeah, that's
They're
what I'm
not,
saying.
and they're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap. They're not supposed
Okay.
to be cheap. You know, buying a gun is not a cheap sport.
All right.
No, it didn't really.
And I didn't know Massachusetts had the same law
Yeah.
already.
Mhm.
All right, so it's just so if you have your firearm in a locked container, is it okay to keep a loaded firearm if it's in a locked container, or do you still have to take the bullets out?
Now you're getting pretty technical.
Wow.
I'm getting into the details. I know.
Yeah. Usually, when you buy a gun safe, you have if the safe is good quality and big enough, you have rows where you can put ammunition, your firearms underneath, and the ammunition in a separate thing. If you've got a loaded gun in there, I don't know. I don't know if that's illegal or not.
Okay.
I don't
just
do
just
that.
just wondering.
I keep them
So,
separate.
Right.
Okay.
Depends on how you were taught too,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah.
Depends on how you were taught.
Yeah.
And any good responsible gun owner, when they return and put the gun away to not be used for a while, it's going to take some sort of a measure so that the gun's secured, that it's separated from its ammunition, rendering it basically useless until you put them back together again.
Yeah, at least it will take an effort to put the the rounds back into the weapon before it can be fired.
Right.
It's not like you can just reach in, grab the gun, and shoot.
But the two interesting points about this are that people who are sensitive to this type of legislation and don't want it, many times they're saying, well, listen, if I'm in my house and someone's breaking into my house and I have to defend myself and my family in my house
I don't
by
have
someone who's
time.
breaking in, yeah, why you keep putting roadblocks and me getting my legally possessed weapon and defending myself? And they don't care for it that way. Well, that is the minority of times, obviously, but they're making a point and it's being argued, and I guess they're in the minority and they're not winning this argument very frequently. But the thing that what a lot of people don't get, and I've mentioned this on a couple of occasions, that with a weapon, and just to remind everybody in case they haven't heard it, I grew up around weapons because my family were outdoors people, they were hunters, they were fishers, and all the rest of this stuff. And I was taught all of that at a very young age. And then when I got into working age, I just chose a different path. But boy, that stuff was pounded into me when I was a young kid. You never raise the muzzle of that weapon at anything you're not going to eat tonight. So there's no playing around with a gun, all that kind of stuff. So it's very serious-minded stuff. When you bring that back in there, you naturally have a ritual before you do anything. Doesn't matter if you got to go to the bathroom bad. You take care of the weapon and secure it first to be sure that nothing can go wrong with that, because it's such an awesome responsibility. What people don't get, you ever watch TV and they knock the gun out of somebody's hand and
Yep.
it falls to the floor, the concrete of the driveway or something else like that? Nobody gets it, but a lot of guns discharge accidentally when dropped to the ground, which is why you don't leave it loaded. No matter what you think your problems are in life, you got bigger problems if a gun hits the air and comes in contact with something hard. The chances of that gun going off are much better than if it was in your hand.
Oh, yeah.
An accidental discharge of a weapon happens much more frequently when it's dropped. And you don't ever see that on TV,
No.
or the movies, where the gun is, drops and hits the floor, knock it out of his hand. You have no idea if that gun's going to discharge or not.
Right.
And that's why you take the bullets out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more point about having the gun loaded when it's not in use in your house. Let's say you break into my house, and I take out my pistol, and I aim it at you.
Okay.
Are you willing to take the chance that I don't have a round in there?
Oh, no. I'm going to make the assumption it's in there.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I think for the majority of times that somebody will break into your house and you're going to react by pulling out a gun, if it's done very it surprised you, you may not have had time to, put a clip into your gun.
Yeah.
But are you as the burglar going to take
chance?
that chance? Because you got to figure that if I'm going to take something and aim it at you,
Yes.
there's a good
There's
chance
something
that the projectile is going to come out.
Right. All right. This reminds me of the movie Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Harry's got his gun pointed at the
Right,
perpetrator
right,
at the
yeah.
beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Well, did he fire
Feel
5
lucky,
shots?
punk.
That's right. Did you fire 5 shots or only 6? Oh, boy. In all this excitement, I've forgotten myself. Well, you got to ask yourself, do you feel lucky?
Yeah.
Well, do you? Funny, that's done twice in that movie.
No, we'll do you punk. Remember?
Punk, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we'll do you, punk. That's done twice in that movie, by the way.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it's 6 shots, so it's empty. But spoiler alert, he gets the bad guy at the end. All right, we're going to take a break right now and bring you the weather forecast, which is being brought to you by Allstate Insurance.
Gradually becoming mostly sunny today with a high near 81. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 58. Wednesday's weather mostly sunny and 76. Thursday, a 60% chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the middle or late part of the day. Mostly cloudy skies all day with a high of 67. Friday, mostly sunny skies and 71. Saturday, sunshine and 75. Sunday, sunshine and 79. And next Monday, mostly sunny, 81.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with cloudy skies. Temperature has gone up to 72 degrees. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today. Today and every Tuesday throughout the summer is Car Cruise Night at the Beef Barn in North Smithfield. Car Cruise Night was very popular last year. In fact, more than 200 modern and classic cars and trucks attended each week. There's no charge to participate, and it's open to the public. So make plans to be at the Beef Barn tonight and every Tuesday. Car Cruise at the Beef Barn starts today at 3 p.m. Check their website in case of inclement weather. Car Cruise tonight, beginning at 3 at the Beef Barn, 200 Industrial Drive, North Smithfield.
Our family caring for your family. The Holiday Retirement Home is a skilled nursing and rehabilitation facility with a home-like atmosphere where laughter is the best medicine. The Holiday keeps their patients and residents involved in varied activities and events so they have the opportunity to live life to the fullest. The Holiday Retirement Home has their own in-house physical, occupational, and speech therapy staff with more than 300 years of combined experience. Stop in for a tour. The Holiday is right off Route 99 on Sales Hill Road in Manville, and for more information you can visit their website at holidayretirement.com.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on my morning sports reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
And it's Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Dave Richards filling in for Linda Tebow today.
Thank
And
you.
Ed, I did a quick search, and the presidential nominee of the Libertarian Party, his name is Chase Oliver. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. He's a senator from the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
And he was nominated on Sunday. And what's odd is he describes himself as, quote, armed and gay, unquote. And I don't know what the gay part means, or why he's telling people that, and how that makes him a better candidate than the others. But he is. He's done that. So, okay. Yeah, like I said, Trump was there. He thought he was the best nominee for the party. It drew a sustained chorus of boos. So, and most of the libertarians
maybe he was
thought,
invited by some person
He might have been.
in the party and didn't curry favor with the rest of the party.
Yep. Many libertarians thought that Kennedy would be their
Well,
candidate.
you'd think so.
And they're a little surprised that they're going with this other guy. No word on a presidential nominee from this guy, Oliver Chase. Sure it'll come out.
No vice president?
No,
So
I
it wasn't
read
VP?
through the article, and he didn't say, oh, yeah, thank you, and my VP is this person. So nothing like that yet. So,
Was he surprised at being the nominee?
Yeah, I was going to say, you may not have expected to become the nominee.
let's see. It doesn't say.
All right.
No. He's happy to be it. And he's going to do his best to win. You know, the usual stuff they say.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Back here in Rhode Island, the couple of CVS stores down in South County,
Oh, my.
Wakefield and Westerly, the pharmacists down there, they want to unionize. There's a union called the Pharmacy Guild, and even the technicians, pharmacy technicians in the Wakefield store, also filed to unionize in the near future. The decision to unionize is based on declining patient safety standards. So, corporate chains like CVS.
Well, that's a
based in
pretty
Woonsocket.
broad term.
It is.
And
Walgreens-
it could be a lot of different things. So they don't care for the staffing. They don't care
that's
for
it.
the rules. They don't care how many. They don't care for how many hours they have to work. They could be disgruntled by that, or maybe CVS will hire minimum qualifications instead of veteran people, or Walgreens. I mean, and
Yeah,
they're
that
lumped
too.
together in the same situation here. And we think the world and all of CVS. Because they're hometown for us, and they started here, and we watched them grow up from nothing to now this enormously dominant corporation. And yes, it's not the corporation it once was when they were selling shoes in New York, but but the fact is that it's CVS, and it does an awful lot for Woonsocket. So we have a soft spot in our heart for that, and we're concerned about this trouble that it might be causing them. At the same time, you think about it, why would workers work so hard? Because there's a lot of hoops to go through to unionize. There's a lot of hoops to go through. Why would they vote to unionize? There's got to be something about the working conditions. And I keep going back to this whole thing. People work for an employer for one of two reasons. They're either
Money.
happy doing it, they like the job, the circumstances suit them, or they're being
Paid
so
well.
embarrassingly well compensated that they just swallow hard and do the deed. So there's only two reasons why human beings generally will take a job. And so that's the situation, either for money or for advancement of career and self-fulfillment. So if they're going to unionize, it means that they've got real big issues of unhappiness. It's not an easy thing to do to unionize.
CVS and Walgreens is already complaining that there's a severe pharmacist shortage.
Yeah.
There is.
So right. So if they unionize, won't that mean less? If we're gonna pay them more, we have to get rid of one of you.
That goes both ways. That's a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
isn't it, Ed?
Unionizing doesn't necessarily mean that they want more money. It may, they
No.
may,
Right,
may
they want better
working
conditions.
conditions.
Right.
They
Yeah.
already get a half hour for lunch.
Yeah. Right. Right in the
Have you
middle of
not
the
seen,
day.
have you not
Yeah,
seen
oh,
that
yeah.
CVS sign?
Yeah.
They closed the pharmacy from
Close
1:30
the-
to 2.
Yeah. They
Every-
just
everybody
shut
gets
it
lunch.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
they don't want to be
They're
open.
not the only one. Walmart does the same.
Okay. Maybe they don't want to open 24 hours.
Well,
Maybe
No.
no one wants to work the midnight to 6
whatever.
I don't.
It's not
know.
every CVS.
Yeah, well, I say they're not too
They got a
many
few.
that are
They got
open
one here.
24 hours.
The store's open 24 hours. I don't know if the
But not the
pharmacist
pharmacy?
Yeah,
is.
the pharmacy's not
is.
usually open 24
Oh,
hours.
all right.
But well, listen. We wish the best for CVS, and this is labor strife is never a good thing for a company to go through because a company is essentially made up of people, and we don't wish any problems for them. But you've got to wonder how this comes about. I know I've had my personal issues with how CVS ran their pharmacies, and so I've not been a customer of CVS because of the way they ran their pharmacy, and that's the way it was. But that's a individual choice on my part, and I don't think that what happened to me really matters to most folks. As I drive by on Eddie Dowling Village and I see the 10 cars in their drive-up pharmacy lane, I don't think
They're not
that
hurting.
I don't think CVS is being hurt by my personal decision not to use their pharmacy as my personal pharmacy. I do shop there for other things.
But you're right, Ed. Maybe it does have something to do with working conditions because I have witnessed this at a CVS, and not the one over here, but the pharmacist screaming at other employees,
Yeah.
not at the customers.
Right.
Something's going on behind the counter
Right.
that they're not happy with, and or things are just not being done to their specifications or whatever.
Right.
And they're yelling at other employees. And I'm thinking, how can you work here? Not the pharmacist, but the people that run the
The
register.
techs.
The
There's a
techs,
pharmacist
that's right.
and then there's
Or
pharmacy
the people that
technicians.
have to handle the drive-through. With your pharmacist, who's I guess the boss, is yelling at you.
It is, yeah.
Continuously. It's like this in front of customers too, which really
Yeah.
bothers me.
And by the way, can I also include in there, because I just don't want to have it not said in the same venue here, that also I have problems with Walgreens, and I'm not
Okay.
not a fan of Walgreens either. We caught them overcharging us for drugs. Like, incredible.
Is that an issue?
Oh, geez, it is, yeah. But with CVS, it was simply a matter where they wouldn't fill a prescription for my daughter. She hurt herself, took her to the emergency room, took her out of Landmark. On the way home, she had a prescription, and
They
so we
wouldn't
went
fill
over
it?
to there to CVS. Of course, we would go to CVS, but they would not fill the prescription for my daughter because she wasn't in the computer.
Oh, all right.
Because she hadn't been they had never seen a prescription for her before. She wasn't in the computer, so they wouldn't do it. I says, "Oh, you're kidding me, aren't you?" No, we got a rule. We can't do it. You got to be like a customer in the computer, or we can't give you anything. Okay, fine. And then, of course, I went down the Rite Aid, and
care
Mr.
of it.
Roy filled it out like that, and that was the end of that.
Here's the other. Not this is an issue with the pharmacist, with CVS or Walgreens, but it's a combination between the pharmacies and health insurance. And my daughter was supposed to get a prescription for something, and the pharmacy called us and said, we can't fill it because your health insurance says you can't have it for 30 days. You have to have it for 90 days. And so now it's back to us, my daughter, to call the doctor to tell them this so they can rewrite the prescription back to the pharmacy. By the way, she hasn't received this prescription yet. Because now it's on us to cop on the doctor to bother them to try to remind them to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Drives
Well,
me-
there's no
drives me
evil
crazy.
going on there. I
No,
don't say
there's no
there's evil going
evil.
on anywhere, although I'm suspicious about the overpricing. But the fact is that everybody's trying to go to work in the morning and get home to the spouse and kiddies at the end of the day with a paycheck. And so it's up to the marketplace to decide where they want to work or where they want to trade.
All right. Any good?
So far,
any
it's
good
still a free
pharmacy-
country that way.
Any good pharmacy stories, Ed?
Prefer not to
Yeah.
go into.
Delve into it. Okay, not a problem. More Coffee Ann is coming Europe, and we will switch topics when we come back. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. Rhode Island's largest Honda, Kawasaki, and Suzuki power sports dealer is B&B Motorsports, formerly MTR Racing in Woonsocket. Over 300 motorcycles, ATVs, scooters, dirt bikes, and jet skis are in stock now. B&B Motorsports can service, repair, and maintain your bike too. And if you're in the market to sell your motorcycle, bring it to B&B Motorsports and they'll write you a check on the spot. Be sure to visit bbmotorsportsri.com. B&B Motorsports, formerly MTR Racing, 372 Social Street, Woonsocket.
Hi, this is Leah Pfeiffer.
And this is Alex Kithis.
We're organizers on the planning committee for Woonsocket Pride, and we're so excited to invite you to the Woonsocket Pride Festival on Sunday, June 9th from 12 to 6 p.m. at River Island Park.
The day will be packed with music and drag performances, speeches, food trucks and vendors, tables for local organizations, a performance with the flags, and a ton of other activities.
Follow us at Woonsocket Pride on all social media to learn more. We hope to see you there.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It's Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Dave Richards and Ed Carew is here. And moving on to another topic. We had that over the weekend where those 4 girls were stabbed at the theater in Braintree. And then the man allegedly drove down to Plymouth and stabbed 2 more people. They arrested somebody in that. And turns out he's from Martha's Vineyard. Chilmark, to be exact. I'm like, wow, that means he had to come over on the boat and made it. It's a long drive from Woods Hole.
Even longer if you use
to
a car.
Braintree. Well, he did.
Okay.
And he didn't even steal it.
That was his car, yeah.
it was his car. And cameras caught his license plate, and that's how they were able to track him. But from what I've read, the father of this person said, well, yeah, there's a mental health issue going there. And he even went to the hospital on Martha's Vineyard. I can't remember the name of the hospital there. And they evaluated him and said, you don't fit our criteria for help. And so sent him on his way. I'm like, wow. I don't know what their criteria is, but apparently,
Well, maybe they
he needed some
didn't.
help.
Maybe they don't do mental health problems there
Maybe.
at that hospital.
I think that's what he went
You're
to
talking
for.
about Martha's Vineyard, so
Yeah.
obviously there may be some limitations
Yeah.
on an island hospital.
But it wouldn't say, they didn't say, oh, this is too much for us.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go somewhere else. It was just, it looks like you haven't hit our minimum for mental health here, kind of thing.
You're not saying that they tried to say judiciously, you're not crazy enough, go someplace else? No?
That's,
What are you trying to
That
say
is what I'm
here?
trying to say. You're not
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
You're not crazy
You're not
enough
crazy enough for us.
for us. Show a little more craziness. Okay.
Yeah, how's this?
Yeah, that's right. Here's 4 random girls I don't know. Who are seeing whatever movie they're seeing. I'll stab them. Is that good enough? And then I'll drive.
Stab 2 and
Then I'll drive 30 minutes and stab 2 more people who I don't know.
yeah.
There you go. Do I get help now? Maybe. Maybe that's it. Well, at least they arrested him, so that's good news. So, I didn't realize this, but Richard Dreyfuss was in Beverly, Massachusetts over the weekend. He was up at the Cabot Theater up that way. They were having a showing, a screening, as they say in the biz, a screening of Jaws.
Right.
And then there was going to be a Q&A afterwards.
For
And-
Memorial Day.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, some people got up and walked out on Richard Dreyfuss. Did you hear about this, Ed?
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, it was what he said.
Yeah, not we liked him. We were there. They were there to see him and hear what he had to say about the making of the movie. This will be fun. This will be interesting. Great stories about what happened out on Martha's Vineyard. But I get some question triggered him, and he went on a rant about women in film, the Me Too movement, and transgender kids. And I guess it wasn't your normal left wing actor stance that your majority of your actors take.
All right.
He was on the other side, and so they weren't happy with what he was saying. So the Cabot Theater, had to come out and apologize. Well, they didn't have to, but they decided to do that and say his remarks don't
Reflect those
reflect
of the
us,
theater.
Of the theater, yes, they are his own, and we're sorry if you were offended. So I was like, wow, his views do not reflect their beliefs at the theater. So, but it's tough to find what he actually said. No one's actually saying. I've tried to read a little bit, but I didn't have enough time of people that say they were there, and this is what he said about.
Now
them,
people
but, yeah,
people
but I
in
don't
the
know if it's
audience
true.
asked him questions.
Yes.
Yeah, when I've been to these things in the past, like for instance, one comes back to mind vividly at the Wang, where Charlton Heston was there for a big 70 millimeter screening of, what was it, Ben-Hur, I think it
Ben-Hur?
was,
Okay.
yeah. Which again might be a transsexual movie, I don't know. The questions came from a moderator from Channel 2, PBS.
Oh, so he was like edited.
They were prepared questions.
Oh, okay.
He was introduced by the moderator. He addressed the crowd, and they said, "Here's some questions that people have been asking us this week." But they were all filtered questions
All right.
to ask him, because at that point he was 90 years old, or somewhere very, very close to 90 years old in the year that this happened. So maybe they didn't know what he was going to say, or maybe his people said,
We want
I'd
to
like to
pick
see the
questions
questions
ahead of
ahead.
time.
So they arranged it so that way. But the inference I got from the way you were characterizing the incident with Mr. Dreyfuss was that he was taking questions from the audience.
That's what I got from the articles I've read.
Yeah, especially in 2024, that's a bad move. My opinion. That's a bad move.
Well,
Don't take questions from the audience. You never know what kind of Yahoo is out there.
well, I guess you could always say, "Well, I respectfully decline to answer that. Let's move on."
Well,
to
you
something else.
could, but that's not what he's getting paid for. He's getting
Yeah.
paid to give his insights. And
I think they were figuring, they're all going to be fans of the movie Jaws, and so what was it like? Did the mechanical shark break down a lot? That's what we hear, kind of thing. And, stuff like that. And how cold was the water filming out there?
And
in
did
the
you
Atlantic in
personally
May?
know the young lady who just died, who was the actress?
That's right. How well?
Who was the first lunch
Yeah.
for the mechanical.
Did you hear she passed away?
For Bruce.
For Bruce
Bruce.
the Shark. That's right.
Bruce
who
the
who
Shark.
named it Bruce the Shark? That would have been another good question.
Right.
But I think whoever asked this question was probably hoping to get the answer would be the standard Hollywood answer that they were looking for and didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people got so offended they got up and left. That'll show them.
Right.
All right, so that's what happened with Richard Dreyfuss. I don't think he's coming back to the Cabot Theater
if you
in
can't-
Beverly
yeah.
anytime soon.
If you can't take an honest answer, there's the door.
Yeah. So okay, we had this story yesterday. It was down in South Carolina. A man had a pet monkey, and it escaped,
Right.
and it was loose for the entire weekend.
Right.
They have finally captured it.
Aw,
Yeah,
how nice.
it's a 15-year-old Japanese macaque kind of monkey. Macaque.
Okay.
I'm not up on my monkeys, so I think that's how you say that. The monkey's name was Bradley. He escaped his habitat Friday morning. They were trying to capture him all weekend. Officials did urge residents in the area not to approach the animal. Monkeys are not cute and cuddly.
Chimpanzees are more
They
cuddly.
are-
But monkeys
no.
themselves can be pretty vicious.
Yeah. Wasn't it the monkey? Wasn't it the chimpanzee in Connecticut that ripped the lips off some woman?
No, it could be.
That got out. They're pretty
It
aggressive.
depends on the circumstances, obviously. But if you had to choose between the two, I'd approach a chimpanzee before I approach
Yeah.
a monkey.
They said just don't approach it. Keep an eye on your pets. But the officials do say that he was captured by the
So we
owner.
went on walkabout.
Yeah, a little bit. See what's out and about. That's why they always said. I don't know. Dave's not a fan. Are you a fan of the Planet of the Apes movies, Ed?
I saw it a long time ago. At the,
With Charlton Heston.
yeah,
Not
right,
the newer
yeah.
version.
Yeah, I haven't seen the more recent versions of it.
Oh, okay, well, don't bother.
Okay, thank you.
Spoiler alert, you've got something better to do.
Actually,
Yeah,
actually, the real newer ones are actually pretty good. It's a lot of CGI, if you're okay with that. The Tim Burton movies, I think, is just terrible. But that's just my opinion.
That's because most people think that's what Tim
Burton
Burton
makes
movies
lousy
are.
movies.
Yeah.
But the Planet of the Apes, the people always said, well, it's not right because you have the chimpanzees as the pacifists and you get the gorillas as the army. And they said gorillas are far more tame, they're far more passive than the chimpanzees. It should have been the other way around.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but gorillas are much bigger monkeys, much bigger apes, so that's why we went with them in the army. Little Planet of the Apes.
Has to
trivia for
do,
you.
I think, with size.
Yes.
In the
gorillas are
wild,
big.
in the wild, things that are bigger than you are.
They must be the aggressive one.
Yeah, you are more defensive about, and things that are smaller than you don't care that so much.
All right. You didn't see any of the ape movies after the first one?
No,
No.
Yeah, the first one cured him, Joe, just like me.
that's it.
Just,
Yeah.
just like you. What amazes me about that, and a little history, each ape movie afterwards had a less budget than the one before it, and made more money than the one before it. So the second one made more than the first one. The third one made more than the second one. So they're very popular, or were.
Ticket prices went up too.
Yeah. And then we don't go see them anymore.
Don't know.
They don't make money on the tickets; they make money on the popcorn.
On the popcorn.
Yep.
That's absolutely right. All right. Let's see. The world's longest serving flight attendant had passed away.
Right?
She was 88 years old.
She was a nurse, wasn't she?
Um,
Because at one time, flight attendants had to be registered nurses
Did
or
they have to
licensed
be?
practical nurses. Yeah.
wow. She died of breast cancer. She started her career with Eastern Airlines. Mm-hmm. Remember Eastern?
Oh, I
Yep.
loved Eastern Airlines.
Eastern Airlines in 1957. And she moved on to American during a merger in 1990.
Right.
She was a familiar face on travelers on flights between Reagan National and New York and Boston. So she had the short runs. No international flights for her anymore. But 7 decades of service. She kept a full workload until she fell ill with her cancer this past spring.
Nice.
And I always thought that flight attendants had such stringent codes that they had to follow. A certain height.
In the beginning, they
certain
did
weight,
because so they could get
certain
up and down
age.
the aisles. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was all thrown out with unions. Yeah.
What about age, though?
No, I guess not.
I guess not. So
I mean, there's nothing that says it has to be a young and pretty person bringing you your coffee, tea, or them, and it just has that's social baloney that cropped up around the stewardess, the flight attendant business. If you can do the work, you can do the work. Go do it.
all right. Did you like your flight attendants down to Aruba? They're okay.
To Aruba, yeah.
I mean North Carolina. You went
yeah,
to North
they were
Carolina,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
On I don't know. I've never been on Breeze, so I don't know.
I haven't either.
Well, you were
Oh,
this time.
No, I was on
No,
Spirit.
Oh, okay, okay. And they were fine too.
Yeah, they were okay. Yeah, well, they didn't have to do much. It was a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
And they came
Buckle
by
in.
and offered you water for $5.
How much were alcoholic drinks? Did
I
they say?
I don't know.
Usually it's not a card.
You didn't look into it, right?
Right, really. When I saw $5 for water, I said, I'm all set.
I already
Thank you.
know. It's gonna be at least double.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was.
All
yeah.
right.
45-minute flight? Nah, I can hold it.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
All right. New details are coming to light about a sunken cruise ship in the California Delta. The Aurora was once a luxury liner. It inspired the TV show The Love Boat. The
Okay.
vessel began taking on water last Wednesday and was leaking diesel fuel and oil into the waterway. Coast Guard officials say its top priority is cleaning up the spill. The former owner, Chris Wilson, bought the vessel from a Craigslist ad in 2008 with the hope of restoring the historic ship.
Oh, my.
Wow, that once cruised the masses to the Greek Isles, Alaska, and South Pacific after World War II. He did sell the Aurora last October, setting the costly upkeep of the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously. And now it's sunk. I wish they put in how much he paid for it. I would love to know.
Well, it was an idea, but it makes a great
Craigslist?
tax write-off.
He bought it off Craigslist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Probably got a deal.
it could be. I got a
There's a hole in it. Yeah.
I got a question here. Unfortunately, it'll
Yeah.
show a little
A little late.
divot in my geographic understanding. I don't know where the California Delta is.
San Joaquin County. Does that help?
San Joaquin County.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's where the slug is from. The story is from. So.
that
yeah,
would be North California, wouldn't it?
Um,
That'd be north of San Francisco. I'll have to
don't
go
know.
look it up, Joe.
okay. It just says California, and Delta is a capital D.
Yeah,
So, I don't know.
I know where the Mississippi Delta is.
That's all that matters, right? All right, we got to run, so we thank you very much for listening in. Ed Crew, thanks for coming in as always.
Always a pleasure.
All right, and Dave, thanks for sitting in for Linda.
I hope I was adequate.
You were. Take a bottle of water out of the fridge for adequate.
Okay, thank you.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned. Gary Smith of the Crew. Do you remember is coming up at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WONR.